Hi, I'm Milani. I always thought my dad had my back. He promised me since I was little that he'd take care of my college education. Don't worry about the money, Mila. Just focus on your grades, he'd tell me. And I did. Honor roll every semester, volunteer work, the whole package. When Dad remarried 3 years ago, bringing Diane and her son Tyler into our lives, things changed slowly. Small things at first. Less phone calls, shorter visits. Dad, we still on for lunch Saturday? I asked, tucking the phone between my ear and shoulder while sorting through financial aid forms at my tiny apartment desk. About that, Mila. Tyler has a basketball game. Rain check? Sure, Dad. Third one this month, but who's counting? I forced a laugh. Don't be like that. We're still adjusting to being a family. 3 years is adjusting? Whatever. Call me when you're free. My roommate Jamie walked in, dropping her backpack on the couch. Let me guess. Your dad canceled again? How'd you know? I rolled my eyes, tossing my phone aside. Because your face does that thing where you try to look like you don't care, but you totally do. Jamie plopped down next to me. What's up with the paperwork tornado? Trying to figure out how I'm going to pay next semester's tuition. Financial aid office says I don't qualify for enough. Didn't your dad set aside money for college? You mentioned a fund? Supposedly. He's been weird whenever I bring it up lately. Says we'll figure it out. My phone buzzed with a text from my grandmother, Dad's mom. Need to talk to you. Important. Can you come over tomorrow? The next morning, Grandma Rose greeted me with unusual seriousness. Her normally cheerful demeanor replaced with tight lips and worried eyes. Sit down, sweetie, she said, patting the kitchen chair beside her. What's going on, Grandma? You're scaring me. I overheard something at your father's house yesterday that you need to know about. She took my hands. Your father has emptied your college fund. I blinked, sure I'd misheard. What do you mean, emptied? I mean, it's gone, honey. All of it. That's impossible. There was almost $40,000 in there. My mom's life insurance plus what Dad added over the years. I know. I was there when they set it up. Grandma's eyes flashed with anger. He used it to pay for Tyler's tuition at that fancy art school in New York. I felt like I'd been punched. Tyler's what? He's studying art? Since when does Tyler care about anything besides video games and complaining? Since Diane convinced your father that her son has undiscovered talent that needs nurturing at $50,000 a year. This can't be happening. My voice sounded distant to my own ears. I confronted Robert after everyone left. He said, and I quote, Tyler needed it more. Milani can get loans or scholarships. She's always been the responsible one. So I'm being punished for being responsible, while Tyler gets a free ride because he's never worked for anything in his life? My hands were shaking now. He claimed they'll pay you back eventually, but eventually? I need tuition money now. I've worked 2 jobs through college to cover expenses because Dad said not to worry about tuition. Grandma's face hardened. There's more. Your father put their house as collateral for an additional loan for Tyler. Your mother would be furious. Does he even care what happens to me? The betrayal burned deep. I don't think he's thinking clearly anymore. Diane has him wrapped around her finger. He promised me, Grandma. That money wasn't just from him. It was from Mom, too. I know, sweetheart. And that's why I'm going to help you fight this. Grandma squeezed my hands. Your mother made certain legal provisions in her will about that money. Your father wasn't supposed to touch it. My head snapped up. What? That's right. What he did wasn't just wrong. It might have been illegal. Are you absolutely sure about this, Grandma? I asked as we sat in the office of Patricia Winters, the family attorney who had handled my mother's estate. The insurance money had specific conditions, Grandma insisted, sliding a folder across to Patricia. Marianne was always careful that way. Patricia adjusted her glasses, scanning the documents. Yes, I remember this case well. Your mother specifically designated those funds for your education, Milani. She created a trust with your father as trustee, but with explicit limitations. So what does that mean exactly? I leaned forward. It means, Patricia said, her tone sharpening, That your father had a fiduciary duty to use those funds exclusively for your educational expenses? If he diverted them elsewhere, that's a breach of trust. Could we prove it? Grandma asked. Bank records would show the withdrawals. We'd need to establish where the money went. Patricia made notes as she spoke. How certain are you about the art school payment? I heard Diane bragging about it to her sister on the phone, Grandma replied. Said they'd finally figured out how to cover Tyler's tuition. My phone buzzed with a text from Dad. Why are you at the lawyer's office with Grandma? Diane saw your car there. Unbelievable, I muttered, showing them the message. They're spying on me now? Don't respond yet, Patricia advised. Let's establish our facts first. After leaving the lawyer's office, I called Jamie. He did what? She practically screamed through the phone. That's your money! I know. I still can't believe it. What did the lawyer say? That we need proof. Bank statements, transfers, that kind of thing. Doesn't your dad still get mail at your grandma's house sometimes? Yeah, some financial stuff. Grandma, do you still have Dad's mail? Grandma nodded. I was going to drop it off this weekend. Back at Grandma's, we found bank statements showing large withdrawals and transfers to Westward Art Institute, coinciding exactly with Tyler's enrollment dates. This is it, I said, hands trembling. This is the proof. The next day, I received a call from Tyler himself, which was unusual. Hey, Milani, what's this drama about money? Dad's freaking out. Oh, so he's dad to you now too? That's convenient. Whatever. He said you're causing problems about school money or something? The money was for my education, Tyler. From my mother's life insurance. Look, it's not my fault your dad wanted to invest in my future. I actually have talent. Talent? I laughed bitterly. Since when? You couldn't even commit to guitar lessons for more than 2 weeks. People change. My portfolio impressed everyone at Westward. The portfolio Diane paid that graphic designer to help you with? Yeah, real impressive. There was a pause. How did you know about that? Because Diane's friend Rachel is friends with my roommate's sister. Small world, right? You didn't even create most of that work, did you? That's not true. Save it, Tyler. I know everything. How you barely attend classes, how you're on academic probation after 1 semester. Who told you? Does Dad know that the money he stole from me is being wasted on someone who doesn't even go to class? You don't understand the creative process, Tyler sputtered. No, what I understand is theft. And so will the court. Court? Are you serious? You would sue your own father? He stopped being my father the moment he stole my future to buy your failure. Tyler's voice turned nasty. Good luck with that. My mom has him wrapped around her finger. He'll never choose you over us. This isn't about him choosing anymore. This is about the law. Dad said you were always dramatic, Tyler sneered. Just take out loans like normal people. That money was legally mine. Your mom knew it. Your dad knew it. And they took it anyway. Whatever. It's already spent. Nothing you can do now. Watch me. The dinner at Dad's house was my idea. Family discussion, I'd called it. Dad seemed relieved, probably thinking I wanted to smooth things over. The tension was palpable as we all sat around the dining table. Me, Dad, Diane, Tyler, and Grandma Rose, who'd insisted on coming for support. I'm glad we're all together, Dad began, forcing a smile. Family should work through problems together. Is that what we are? Family? I asked, placing a folder on the table. Because family doesn't steal from each other. Dad's face darkened. Milani, that's not fair. Nobody stole anything. Then what would you call taking my college fund, money from Mom's life insurance that was legally designated for my education, and using it for Tyler's art school? We were going to discuss this with you, Diane interjected. We just needed to secure Tyler's spot first. The timing was tight. Timing? I repeated. You've had 3 years to discuss this. Instead, you went behind my back. Dad sighed heavily. Mila, you've always been the smart one. You can get scholarships, loans. So I'm being punished for being responsible? While Tyler gets rewarded for what exactly? Don't drag me into this. Tyler muttered, staring at his plate. You're already in this. You're benefiting from money that was meant for me. Money from my mother. Robert, Grandma cut in. Tell Milani what else you've done with her money. Dad shifted uncomfortably. Mom, please. He used part of it to renovate this house, Grandma continued. The kitchen where we're sitting right now, paid for with Milani's college fund. Diane's face flushed. The renovations benefit everyone when you visit. I've been here exactly twice in 3 years, I interrupted. Try again. We're family, Dad insisted. We share resources. When Tyler finishes school and gets established, he's failing his classes, Dad. The words fell like stones. He's on academic probation. Did you know that? Dad's head snapped toward Tyler. What? She's lying, Tyler said quickly. Am I? Should we call the school? I have the registrar's number right here. This is ridiculous, Diane stood up. We don't have to justify our family decisions to you. They weren't your decisions to make, I replied, sliding a document across the table. This is a copy of Mom's will. The section about my education trust is highlighted. Dad barely glanced at it. Mila, I know you're upset, but this aggressive approach isn't helping. I've tried talking to you for months. You've canceled, avoided, and lied to me. So now we do this the official way. I produced another document. This is a letter from Mom's attorney stating that the trust was established for my education only. You had no legal right to use it for anything else. You went to Patricia? Dad looked betrayed. Behind my back? Ironic that you're upset about someone going behind your back, isn't it? Milani, Dad's voice softened, trying a new approach. I know this seems unfair, but Tyler really needed this opportunity. His art is exceptional. His art? I laughed bitterly. The portfolio that got him admitted? Diane paid a designer to help create it. He barely did any of the work himself. Tyler jumped up. That's a lie. Mom, tell her! Diane's silence was damning. I want my money back, I stated flatly. All of it. By the end of the month. That's impossible, Diane sputtered. It's already spent. The tuition, the renovations. Then sell the house, I suggested. Take out loans. Figure it out, like you expected me to do. You can't be serious, Dad said. I've never been more serious. Return my money or I'll take legal action. Dad's face hardened. After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me? With threats? Everything you've done for me? Like stealing my college fund? I am still your father. A father wouldn't do this, I shouted, finally losing my composure. A father wouldn't steal from his daughter to give to his stepson. That's enough. Dad slammed his hand on the table. I won't be spoken to this way in my own home. Home renovated with my money, I reminded him. Dad stood up, pointing toward the door. I think you should leave. Fine. I gathered my documents. You have until the end of the month. Then my lawyer contacts the district attorney about breach of fiduciary duty and misappropriation of trust funds. As I headed for the door, Tyler grabbed my arm. You self-righteous bitch. You're ruining everything. I yanked free. Don't touch me. Or what? He stepped closer, towering over me. You'll cry to Daddy? Oh, wait. He chose me. Tyler, that's enough, Dad warned, too late. She needs to learn her place, Tyler snarled, shoving me against the wall. The room erupted in chaos. Grandma shouted. Dad lunged forward. Diane screamed at everyone to calm down. I steadied myself, pulled out my phone, and held it up. That shove? I've been recording this entire conversation. Assault charge on top of the fraud? Not looking good for you. The courtroom was smaller than I'd expected. 3 months of legal proceedings had led to this moment. Me sitting beside Patricia while Dad, Diane, and Tyler huddled with their attorney across the aisle. Grandma sat directly behind me, her hand occasionally squeezing my shoulder. All rise for the Honorable Judge Michael Brennan, the bailiff announced. After the formalities, Patricia presented our case methodically. The trust documents, bank records, witness statements, and the recording from that disastrous dinner, including Tyler's assault. When Dad's attorney tried to frame it as a family misunderstanding, Judge Brennan's expression grew increasingly skeptical. Mr. Patel, the judge addressed my father, did you understand the terms of the trust established by your late wife? Dad shifted uncomfortably. Yes, Your Honor, but I believed I had some discretion as trustee. The language is quite explicit, Judge Brennan noted, reviewing the document. There was no ambiguity about the purpose of these funds. By the end of the hearing, the judge ruled entirely in my favor. Dad was ordered to repay the full amount within 6 months, plus interest and legal fees. Additionally, Tyler received community service for the assault. Outside the courtroom, Dad approached me hesitantly. Mila, can we talk? Privately? Patricia looked at me questioningly. I nodded and she stepped away. I'm sorry, Dad began, his voice thick. I never meant to hurt you. But you did, I replied evenly. You chose them over me. It wasn't like that. I thought I could make everyone happy. By stealing from me? By breaking Mom's last wish for my education? Dad winced. I know now how wrong I was, but we're still family. I want to make this right. The court already decided how you'll make it right, by returning my money. I'm not talking about money. I mean our relationship. I studied the man before me, the father who'd read me bedtime stories, taught me to ride a bike, and then betrayed me so completely. What relationship? You destroyed it. People make mistakes, Mila. Terrible ones. But we can rebuild. No, Dad, we can't. The certainty in my voice surprised even me. You didn't just make a mistake. You made a series of calculated decisions, knowing they would harm me. That's not something I can forgive. Please, just... The court ordered you to return my money. That's the only relationship we have now. Debtor and creditor. His face crumpled. You don't mean that. I do. Some betrayals are too big to come back from. What about Grandma? She still wants us to be a family. Grandma understands my decision. She respects it, even if she wishes things were different. As if summoned, Grandma approached with Jamie beside her. Everything okay here? Grandma asked. We're done, I said, moving toward them. Milani, please, Dad called after me. I love you. I turned back one last time. Love without respect isn't love, Dad. It's just words. 6 months later, Jamie helped me unpack in my new apartment near campus. Thanks to the returned funds and additional damages awarded by the court, I could focus on my final year without financial worry. Have you heard from your dad? Jamie asked, arranging books on a shelf. He emails sometimes. I don't respond. And Tyler? Dropped out of art school, working at his uncle's car dealership from what Grandma tells me. Do you ever think about reconciling? You know, down the road? I paused, considering the question. Some people think forgiveness is always the answer, that families should be forgiven anything. But I've learned something different. Some bridges, once burned, should stay ashes. Doesn't that make you sad sometimes? Sure. I miss the dad I thought I had, but that person was an illusion. I taped up the last empty box. I'd rather build my life on truth than comforting lies. My phone buzzed with a text from my study group, reminding me about tomorrow's project meeting. Real friends, real support. Ready for dinner? Jamie asked. The others are meeting us at 7. I looked around the apartment. My space, paid for with my money, secured by my own determination to fight for what was rightfully mine. Absolutely. Let's go. Have you ever had to choose between family peace and standing up for yourself? What would you have done in Milani's situation? Let me know in the comments below.